Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this Sunday's edition of Houston County News. I'm messenger reporter Greg Ritchie. We have got a really fun show for you coming up today. We are going to have an exclusive interview with Houston County Sheriff Mr. Zak Benge, and we're not going to talk a whole lot of official stuff. We're going to just kind of talk about whatever comes up, and I think you're going to enjoy that. I think there's some stuff coming out of that. Also, a man was arrested for doing some bad things after he led Crockett police officers on a 100-mile-an-hour chase around the city. We're going to talk about that, and we are going to meet the 4 senior girls from the Lovelady Lady Lions volleyball team, set to take on Cayuga this week in the playoffs. So look forward to that. But first, as always, we turn to Miss Kendall Hickson. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Now, it was so hot this summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then September came.
It did.
And then October came. And it's like October 15th, and I'm still outside, sweating, going, Where's fall?
Mm-hmm.
And then fall fell, didn't it?
Oh, it definitely fell.
Very
low.
Yeah, along with a few of my limbs from the high winds and everything else. Man, it got cold this past week.
It's freezing this morning. Freezing.
And the wife kept saying, should we turn on the heater? And I said, no, that costs money.
Yeah.
So I said, as long as God gave us plenty of blankets and thick socks. I said, you're from Russia. This is like June for you people. What are you complaining about?
I know, right?
But that happens sometimes when it's a super hot summer. It turns into a super cold winter. And man, if this keeps up, it's going to get a little warmer. I know you're going to do a forecast for us later. You haven't read that far in the script, but you will.
Okay.
Now, when we started this, we've been doing this a month or so now. A little over a month. Can you believe that?
Wow.
We're
made it far.
We're over a month old.
Wow.
Everybody kept complaining that the wall behind me was boring and bland and empty.
Oh.
So as you know, last week we put up 3 little pictures, Texas Press Association awards, to kind of fill the space a little. Did you notice this morning there's only one?
I did notice that.
You haven't asked why. If you would like to ask why, this would be a good time to do so.
Why?
Apparently while we weren't here, they both fell down and broke. So I don't know if that's our Heavenly Father trying to tell me something or just bad karma, but...
one of the two.
Yeah, that's the only one that I really worked hard enough for. Now, before we get started this morning, I want to let you know there is a Crockett City Council meeting coming up Monday night at 6 o'clock, right across the way here in City Hall. And as always, we will be there. Not a lot going on in the meeting, kind of some zoning stuff, might be interesting. But we've decided we're going to cover each and every Crockett City Council meeting in a segment we like to call... How do I get an item on the agenda? Ask for help, don't be scared. Now, that's all in good fun. We're not making fun of everybody, but it is what it is. Now, but let's get the show started, as we always do, with Miss Kendall Hickson and a bit of news. Kendall.
Alrighty, so early voting ended Friday all over Houston County, giving residents a chance to cast their ballots on 14 amendments to the Texas Constitution, along with a local tax issue in the city of Lovelady. Election Day is set for Tuesday, November 4th. Here is a look at the polling places for each precinct. Stay tuned to the Messenger's Facebook page Tuesday, November 4th for election results.
Well, in other news this week, a Crockett man behind bars after a high-speed chase Tuesday morning. Crockett PD say 37-year-old Jeremy Brent led officers on a pursuit topping, Kendall, get this, 100 miles an hour before stop sticks brought his car to a halt right there near Loop 304 and Highway 7 East. Now, Crockett officers tell us Brent had allegedly fled a trespassing scene in Latexo and may have even had someone in the vehicle against their will. Sources tell us that person was not hurt, Brent facing multiple charges, including evading arrest and unlawful restraint.
Mission Tejas is ready to welcome back visitors after 3 years of major construction. The park's grand reopening is set for Saturday, November 8th from 10 to 2. Crews with Parks and Wildlife and TxDOT upgrade water and electrical systems, repaved roads, and added new historical exhibits. including an 1858 dugout canoe donated by Stephen F. Austin State University. Park officials say improvements modernized the park while keeping its natural beauty and historical charm. Greg, who did you spotlight from the Houston County seniors this week?
Well, Kendall, I'm not going to tell you.
Oh.
Okay.
Greg, I know you spotlighted a few of our high school athlete seniors. Where did you visit this past week?
Well, Kendall, we had a great trip out to the beautiful city of Lovelady, Texas.
Aww.
And one of my favorite places and one of my favorite schools. And they have 4 seniors on the varsity volleyball squad. Wow. And, it was kind of a tough year for them, but they're doing really well. And they're going into the playoffs, so we actually had a minute to sit down with Coach Cookie Johnson, who's an old friend of the shows and someone we've definitely talked to a lot over the years about her kids and her sports. And they are facing Cayuga, or faced, actually. We're doing this before they do it, Saturday night up in Elkhart. So good luck to the Lady Lions. And let's have a look and get to know Coach Johnson and some of these young ladies just a little better.
So far, it's been great. We've been rocking and rolling. We started off a little sluggish, had a little bit of adversity. We had injuries, but now we're moving and grooving, and we're just going to keep it going.
As far as wins, district, non-district, what have been the strengths this year for the girls?
Growth every game. We've improved drastically. We continue to improve. We made the changes we need to change. We worked as a team. We worked together, but it's the growth. We get better from game to game, win or lose, what the scoreboard says, but it's how we played and finished at the end of the game. Hey, fall in love with them at first sight. We all bonded great. They believed, they trusted, and they listened, because at the end of the day, the coach is always right. But they work together. I got a great group of seniors. We're all here, they take leadership, they own it, and we continue to build from there.
How are we feeling about Cayuga this week?
Hey, we're feeling great. We stay ready.
Played them already this year.
Played them already early in the year, but we've improved drastically since then. I think our strengths would be our serving. But we just gotta continue to do what we do and practice to improve to get where we need to be after Saturday.
We're all just so close. Being a part of a small school, you just get to know everyone, and it's really easy to be friends with everyone, and it's like a big family. Right now, I'm sitting with all A's. I don't have a favorite subject. I really don't like school.
Lunch? Oh, now stop.
If I had to say a favorite subject, I'd probably say English. I applied for A&M, so I'm hoping to get in once they finish accepting everyone, and either go into early childhood development or go into radiology or maybe ultrasound technician. I would just tell them to be open-minded to everything, and if you feel like you want to try it, you can. And especially if you start it, I would finish out and see how the season goes, and if it's really not your thing, that's just personal preference. But it's always a good idea to open up to everything that you possibly can, especially coming in as a freshman. Outside of school, really just homework, but I did club volleyball last year, so I had that. I really don't do much. I work on Saturdays, and that's about it. It's really weird. I feel like I'm still not a senior. Like, I still feel like a freshman coming in, not knowing anything about high school. It's crazy that everyone I grew up with, we're all fixing to graduate. I don't know.
I've pretty much been doing sports for my whole life. But currently I've done cross country, volleyball, I'll do basketball this year, and softball is my main sport. I haven't really played front row, so I've been libero since junior high. I'm a pitcher, but I can utility. I don't know. I'm ready to graduate, but I'm not. It's going good. It's like slow and fast at the same time. I don't know. I'd probably say now I'm probably ready for it because I'm more independent.
Yeah.
But I feel like when it comes, I'm going to be kind of shocked how close everybody is.
Yeah.
And I guess, the help from teachers, like the one-on-one help that they could give you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where I want to go, but I do want to play softball, and I want to be a pediatric physical therapist. I just like being with kids, and I'd like to help, and I don't know, I feel like if I want to coach, I could use that as a backbone to go coach, or if I want to. I look forward to being independent just because I like being able to support myself.
So yes, I was born and raised here, but I didn't move here until 7th grade. Okay. I went to a private school in Huntsville. It was very much so different, like just the kids and the interactions that we all have with each other. People there were a lot more like to themselves and like quiet, but like here, like everybody's like one and like a family, so.
It's hard to keep a secret in Lovelady, Texas.
It very much so. I've just been taking, honestly, some easy classes because I've already took all the classes that I need to take. I enjoy science, like A&P. So that's one that I enjoy. And I also do art, and I just like drawing. So I normally play softball on the weekends at colleges or showcases.
Nice. What do you play?
I'm a catcher, and I kind of just go wherever they need me to go. I've played volleyball since my 7th grade year. I don't necessarily know what my path is going to be right now. So I want to go into the medical field of some sort. I was thinking maybe like a NICU nurse or something like that. Yeah. Somewhere in that area with the like kids or like children's like orthopedics and stuff. So I feel like both. Like I'm obviously going to miss home, and I'm going to miss my friends and the people that I used to talk to for years. But at the same time, a part of me is excited to go out into the world and see everything there is to see. So I'm ready. I feel like I'm ready now. I probably won't be ready come May, but I think I'll just miss how tight-knit we are. Like, we all like move in one motion together, so and obviously my friends, I'll miss them. Who knows when I'll see them again, so. I think it's going pretty good. I feel like we're having a really good season, and I don't know. I'm happy with all my classes that I'm taking, and I've made a lot like more friends and connections this year because most of my friends are on work programs, so I kind of just, ventured out and found new friends. So, I play basketball, softball. I think I'm gonna do track this year, and I do golf. I think that I'll look back and be like happy that I went to a smaller school just because, you have more opportunity, and I feel like it's easier for you to be seen and, really put in the work and have it pay off. I feel like it's honestly been better. There's a lot of things this year that I've like learned to do that I couldn't do. Like I couldn't block before this year, and I don't know, we've just done drills like almost every day, and it's really helped with that. But I feel like our team has improved like tremendously. I want to continue my education probably at Sam Houston or Lone Star, but I would like to be a dental hygienist or anything that has to do with, kind of the dental side. I don't know. When I was younger, I used to be really insecure about my smile. So when I got braces, it really just like intrigued me and make people feel better about like their smile. So, I'm going to miss like the closeness and having just everybody right there. Really just, I guess, the connections and all the friends and stuff. And memories.
Good morning, Greg. With this week's Crockett Bulldog Roundup, I'm Liam McMinn. It was a Halloween showdown to remember at Monty Jack Driscoll Stadium as the Crockett Bulldogs faced a longtime rival Diboll in a crucial district matchup. Under clear skies in front of a fired-up home crowd, the Bulldogs came out ready to battle, and the game delivered plenty of thrills from the start to finish. Crockett shook off an early fumble on an opening kickoff thanks to a stout defense. They lit up the scoreboard with a perfectly executed reverse flea flicker to receiver Zay Butler, giving them a 7-0 lead. Diebold special teams responded with a big return, and just before halftime, they capitalized on a Bulldog turnover to even things at 7-7. The second half saw both teams trading blows. Diebold opened with a long touchdown pass to go up 13-7, but Crockett answered behind the tough running of the quarterback White, tying the game at 13-13. In the fourth quarter, Diebold regained the lead, only for White to strike again to make it 20-20. With under 2 minutes left, however, the Lumberjacks powered in the go-ahead score to make it 27-20. Crockett fought to the end, mounting one last drive before calling short in the final minute. Though fans questioned some of the calls on the field, the Bulldogs showed heart and resilience in a game that could have gone either way. Crockett now turns its focus to closing out the regular season next week on the road against Fairfield. With this week's Bulldog Roundup, I'm Liam McMinn. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, Greg. I'm Cade Hackler with your Latexo Sports Review. The Latexo Lady Tigers volleyball team took a tough loss to Timpson Friday night at Nacogdoches in their first playoff game. The ladies had a great season, but the Lady Bears won in the end, 3-1. The Tiger basketball boys took time from practicing hoops to help future players at the elementary school this week. And several little Tigers won the Elks Hoop Shot free throw contest and will go back to the regional contest in January. Jet Bobbitt, Bowen Santa Maria, Louise Humez, Piper Santa Maria, Carson Lehman, Grayson Kellogg, and Judd Bobbitt. In spite of everything, the kids at Latexo schools continue to shine, and we're happy to keep you updated on their progress. With your Latexo Tigers Sports Review, I'm Cade Hackler. See you next week.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Houston County News, and our special guest this week, our very own Houston County Sheriff, Mr. Zak Benge. Zak, thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Greg.
Now, I know you've been busy. I know deer season's coming up, but I wanted to get you in here for a few minutes. You know, we talk, not really all the time, but when we do talk, it's usually kind of official business. But I just wanted to chat with you and let people kind of get to know you a little better. And so I'll tell. Let me brag on you for a second. A year ago, if you recall, we shared a table at the Crockett Police Ball.
Yes, sir.
And so we were able to just kind of chat about, there were no murders or crimes or anything. And I don't think people know how well-traveled and what a cultured individual our sheriff actually is. And you speak foreign languages and everything else. You've been all over the world almost.
I have been very fortunate in my life with my father. I grew up, if we traveled, it was to hunt and fish.
Right.
But with my mother, when we traveled, it was to see different places, go see family. I kind of developed a love of that travel and seeing different parts of the world, different cultures and how they live. It's very intriguing to me.
Deer season, it's here. Now, you were a longtime game warden.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to ask you, now that you've been sheriff almost a year, I guess, 8-9 months, has it been hard for you to switch from the game warden out, getting your hands dirty every day in the trenches, to taking on more administrative personnel kind of role?
It is. Like every year, when it starts getting cool, I kind of want to rub my head on a tree and peel that velvet off and get ready for the cold weather and the rut. And there are days that I wish I could just go check a deer in a deer camp and visit and smell the smoke of the campfire and enjoy that conversation with fellow hunters. But my duties now are so different that I don't have much time to miss that work. I see it when I drive by vehicles. I still find myself looking for blood on a tailgate. If I'm in the Walmart parking lot, I find myself looking for blood in the bed of a truck. Or if there's hunters coming in getting 2 or 3 bags of ice, I get that instant thought of, I bet he's buying that ice for a deer.
They come out and find you going through the cooler just in case.
Or standing in line at the store and they're dressed in camo. I find myself looking at their boots or their pants legs as their blood, and that's just. I mean, that's all I had known. So
Sure.
But the urge to get out and do it has passed from what it was the first 6 months, the first year. But with our new game wardens, I enjoy visiting with them, kind of sharing stories and experiences and offering advice where I can.
One of the promises you made, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't believe it at the time because, anybody running for office will promise anything, but you promised to be more open and transparent. And I got to say, I was wrong. I don't know a sheriff's department that's better at transparency, honestly. And I've been in the media business a long time, since I was 9 years old, which is 73 years ago now, something like that. You put out monthly activity reports. I know every time I've called you and said, hey, we're hearing about this incident or case or whatever. Why? Because you don't have to, and you know that, and most sheriffs around the state don't. So what was it about that made you say, this is what I'm going to do, and then get into office and do it?
Well, at the end of the day, what we do there and the money we do it with comes from the taxpayer. I'm a taxpayer, you're a taxpayer, and people, I want to know what the return on my investment is, and I would assume that you would want to know the same. We don't have anything to hide. We're there to hold ourselves to a higher, or hold ourselves accountable more than anybody else. And it's hard. If you don't know what we're doing, there's always that, what are we hiding? How come we're not telling you what's going on? So it's better just to lay it all out. I've always found through my entire life and through my entire career as a game warden, if you'll just lay out what it is, good, bad, indifferent, explain your reasoning behind any decisions you make, that most people can get on board with that. They may not agree, but if you give people the why, and you don't lie, you don't try to omit, they may not agree with you, but they'll understand it.
At least they know why.
Yes, and so we don't want people thinking we're trying to hide anything that's going on. If it's information we can give you, we're going to give it to you. If it's a sound bite you're looking for on a particular case or on a particular incident, we're going to give you the why and give you what we know.
Now, of course, you, as you said, were game warden for a long time. You got Ryan Martin, the chief deputy there. A lot of people question that decision. I'm kidding. So for those out there that don't know, you were elected about a year ago.
Yes, March of 24 in the primary.
Was
election.
The primary, and then you had about 9 months.
Yes, sir.
Before you took office to plan and scheme and look and analyze and think what you want to do. Now that you've been actually doing it, do you like it? Are you enjoying the job?
I do. I enjoy the job. I enjoy being to still be able to meet with members of the public, to visit with young and old, and so. But it is very busy.
Well, what I wanted to ask you, what has been way better than you expected, and what has been a way bigger headache than you expected? Because I'm sure there's got to be a little of both.
Oh, there he is. Let me start with. I had a conversation with Sheriff Hargrove. Before we took office, went down and me and Chief Martin and the sheriff and his chief sat down, had a couple of hours just visiting, and Sheriff Hargrove said there's just so many things you don't know. And after about 3 months in, I called him. I'm like, you're right. Yeah. You have an idea of what you may be doing, but there are so many things that get thrown at you. That adage of drinking out of a fire hose is absolutely correct.
Right. You mean just like state laws and,
yes,
and all the different
the
budgets
the number of committees and organizations that are tied to the sheriff's office, whether it's child welfare, whether it's adult protective services, whether it's the jail, you're pulled in so many different directions, and you're just not aware of that until you get there, and all of a sudden it's meeting after meeting after meeting, and so I have to explain to my wife a lot of times. She'll ask me, well, what happened on the wreck on such and such road? I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
Like, what do you mean you don't know? Like, I'm so far removed from the day-to-day boots on the ground, because my day literally starts at 7:45, 8 with who's been arrested, and it's email after email, meetings after meetings, appearances. People want questions. They want to see you. They want you to come by. We're having a fundraiser. It runs the gamut. And
We're doing the stupid podcast.
Well, and so here's the deal. But once again, people want to know. So it's a medium we can use to get our ideas out, our thoughts out, where people understand it. Man, I'm just like everybody else. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the means, but we try to make the right decisions every day moving forward. And so we're going to use every medium we can. Was probably the least amount of fun is personnel issues. I mean, we're an office of about 65 total employees.
Are there that many?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
And so
between jail and dispatch,
yes, sir.
sure,
Dispatch to jail, the courthouse, patrol, criminal investigations, and you've got relationships with almost all those people because we're a small community.
Right.
And so when you have personnel issues come up, at the end of the day, we have to make the right decision, not only for our office and for the county, but for the people involved.
Right.
And sometimes those decisions are not popular, and it's hard it takes a little time to try to separate our personal feelings from our business, because this is a business that we're running. The public has elected us to do a particular job to the best of our abilities, and to be open and honest about what we are doing. And so we have to take all that into consideration. So that's probably the least fun or enjoyable part of the job. Sure. The most enjoyable part is, going to these functions, going to the basketball games, or wherever it may be.
Well, I heard you did very well at Kalen Center the other night, so they're very grateful for that.
We did, and once again, it's a great organization, and it's a great medium for this type of stuff for people to understand what we are involved in. Because I know things are said during a campaign season. You always see. They always show up in campaign season. You never see them again. Right. And there's so much you're involved in. It's most elected officials that I know spend almost a third of their paycheck through the year on donations, and it's donations for fall festivals for kids, the Kalen Center, and people don't see. They see it during campaign season because, unfortunately, that's just a job. You have to be out there. The public elects you. The public has to see you, but it doesn't end there. Every elected official I know donates to stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it's the paper, any children's organization. And so it's hard to back off that, because campaign, it's very hard. But the most enjoyable part of the job is being able to see the people, to get out, to hear somebody say, hey, I really appreciate your guys came out and helped me that day, and they were so nice and polite. We really enjoy that. That's the most enjoyable part.
Last question is like philosophy. So you and I have talked before, and most law enforcement people feel this way. So the arrest reports now, the mugshots are online. There's a couple social media pages that's been putting them out, and I would say maybe that's 50-50 love-hate that's going on. It's all public information, obviously, so nothing much to be done about it. But, I've been the victim of little crimes here and there over the course of my life. Somebody steals something, whatever, and, you just want the death penalty. I mean, even if they're, parking in your spot, But honestly, I would assume that a certain percentage of those people are not bad people. It's the worst day of their life. They're going to look back forever and be ashamed eternally and think, what was I? Or they're on some substance that they eventually can get off of it. And I did a little interview with some of the guys that do the woodworking over at the jail and the bench that they made and stuff. How do you balance that? How do you balance they have to be here because they've committed this crime and that's what the courts say, or we have to move them on up the state or whatever. But they're still humans. They're still neighbors. And one day they'll get out and hopefully get back being who they were supposed to be anyway.
Yes, sir.
I would think that'd be tough, just philosophically.
I look at it like I do my kids. They're going to make mistakes. And what we have to remember in our county jail is these individuals are going to get out. And you're going to see them at the local stores, on the sides of the road. Did they make bad decisions to get them there? Absolutely. Sure. Do we hold them accountable for that? Absolutely. But do we talk down to them just because we're in a position of authority and they're not? Well, no, because who does that benefit? Nobody. That's right. I tell all of them, trustees on down, I hope I never see you in here again. That's what I hope. Sure. I had a couple of guys that in my career as a game warden that we dealt with over and over and over. And I would always get on my soapbox of, is this really living? Do you enjoy life living the way you are right now? And so our hope would be that we offer things in that jail. Our trustees, of course, have got some different opportunities, but those that are not trustees, they still have opportunities to participate in religious programs. They've got opportunities. We've got them tablets now, and through those tablets, they can work on anger management courses. They can work on some other self-help courses. I think there's a program even to help you get the paperwork part of your CDL done. And so we offer that to them in the hopes that they'll take it. We know that recidivism is hard to beat anyway. But
sometimes generational. It's
sure
unbelievable.
And so but our goal is, as long as you're here, you're not causing us a headache. You're doing what we ask you to do. We're going to treat you fairly. We're going to feed you well. We're going to make sure your medical needs are taken care of, in the hopes that you'll go, that guy put a little faith in me, and I don't want to let him down. And so that's what the hope is. We know that in reality that's not going to be it. Some folks have not hit rock bottom when they're there, and so they're going to make lots of promises. They're going to get out and they're going to come back. But there are many that do come through that we try to, I wouldn't say fatherly advice, because most of them are my age, but it's life advice. At the end of the day, we're one or two decisions apart that I could have made that would have went the wrong way, that could put me right where you're at. So I'm not going to.
There were a few times in my youth, I think, boy, if there'd been a cop nearby, I'll tell you.
Exactly. I know. Either whether it's a moral decision you've made, an ethical decision you've made, or something that could steer us off the path that we're on right now. So we try to lead those guys a little more, give them every opportunity, in the hopes that they'll get out and go, they treated me right there, but I don't want to let them down because they treated me so good and tried to do what they could do to help me. I don't want to let them down and come back. And that's what the hope is, and the impetus behind all that.
Well, how does deer season look? As an expert in that field, is it going to be a good year?
There's a lot of acorns right now, so I'm afraid that,
I've heard.
Like everybody else, your corn's kind of piling up underneath your feeder. But those acorns, with a good rain, they'll either sour, or the deer's going to hit them hard, eat them, and your late season will be a little bit better once the acorns are gone. But the ruts I've seen around my house, the rut's in full swing, so maybe we're hitting it just the right time for the opening of the general season here on Saturday, and everybody can be successful and not have any problem.
Now, are you and Chief Mart plan on bagging any deers this year, or probably not?
If he doesn't shoot any better, he probably won't. But I know I'll get one or two. My big push is my youngest son. He's my hunter. He loves to, whatever you mention, he wants to go shoot.
Good.
So me and him will spend some time together. My oldest son, he'll come in and probably December he'll hunt some. And my daughter, she doesn't care to deer hunt. She likes to hunt, but she said the deer are too pretty. She just can't shoot those. So
I get that.
It's okay. She likes to eat it. She just doesn't want to shoot one. So we'll have a good time. I keep a rifle in my truck and I go every chance I get.
That's awesome. Well, we appreciate it for coming by, for the job you're doing, for, honestly, answering the phone call when we have questions for our readers and stuff. So thanks for doing this, Sheriff. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Well, folks, before we go and let you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, we thought we would check on the weather, because it has been pretty crazy. Kendall, what's coming up for the next week?
Well, next week's daytime temperatures will get back into the high 70s and even into the lower 80s. But nighttime will still be cool, with lows in the 40s and 50s.